I'm gonna sit right down, write myself a letter, make believe that it came from you. I got no right words, oh so sweet, they're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom, I'll be glad I got them now. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. Well, I close with love the way that you do. I'm gonna sit right down, write myself a letter, make believe that it came from you. Hey friends, this week we're working on the 1935 song, I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Write Myself a Letter. This song was popularized in the same year as a major hit by the great Fats Waller and was later included in his musical review, Ain't Misbehavin'. Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole had huge hits with this later on, and then even in the 2000s, Paul McCartney recorded this song in his album Kisses on the Bottom, which is one of the lyrics from this very song. It's a fairly straightforward form. I want to talk about just a few chord substitutions and voicing changes that we can use in here, as well as sort of why we use some of the variations of the chords that we use when we're accompanying this. If we look just at the beginning, we start out on a B flat 6th chord. Now, while you could just play a regular B flat triad here, with the 6th in here, we're highlighting the melody. The first little line goes E, F, E, F, G. There's our 6th, D, F. And there's our 3rd, D, and our 5th, F. So by playing the B flat 6th, we're actually including every single note that is in the melody line in the first measure by playing a B flat 6th as opposed to playing just a standard B flat chord. So it's just something to help support the melody a little bit more. Now in the second bar, we generally just stay on a B flat or a B flat 6th chord, but in many versions we can also use a 5 sharp 5 or an F 7th with a sharp 5 or a C sharp in it, which would just be your regular F 7th chord with your pinky on the 4th fret of your A string. So we can, I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And that gives us a nice motion because when we get to the 3rd measure of the tune, we are going to go to a B flat major 7th chord, which is really the same as a B flat chord. We're just adding an A up top. And that's our melody note, is that A. So again, we're using an extension in the chord to support the melody of the song. Now we can stay on that for 2 bars, but then when we get to the next one, we generally would stay on a B flat major 7th. We could also go to just a regular B flat here. It doesn't really matter. But I like to use a B flat add 9, again, because this highlights what the melody does. We have this little walk down in the melody from C, B, B, A. So we can take our B flat major 7th and just put your pinky on the 3rd fret of the A string, and there's our B flat add 9 chord, just supporting the melody a little bit more. So listen to just these first few bars with these variations of the B flat chord in here, and just know that you can just play a standard B flat chord this entire time, and that's perfectly okay, but we're using the extensions just to create a little bit of movement and help support the melody. Da 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 da. And the other great part about this B flat add 9 is as we go to the D 7th chord, we can keep this as a common tone. The C is in both chords, as well as is the D. So then we have 2 common tones here. And then we have what's called contrary motion on the inner voices. So the B flat is resolving down to an A on the 2nd fret of our G string, and which is exactly what happens in the melody. And then the F is resolving up to an F sharp on the E string. Listen to the movement of these chords, the B flat add 9 to the D 7th. We have those commonalities which make this odd chord, because this D 7th is not contained. It's a dominant 3 chord. It's not a natural chord that we would have in the key of B flat. But by using this motion, it makes it sound very natural. And this D 7th brings us right up. We resolve a half step to an E flat 6th chord, just barred straight across the 3rd fret, immediately to a G 7th, and then to a C minor 7th, which is the same chord as our E flat 6th chord, but because we have this G7th before it, a dominant chord, it draws our ear into it, telling us that it is actually a C minor 7th chord. We change the tonality of the chord by using this G7th in front of it. And we go through the rest of the A section. The next few bars is fairly simple. We do a C minor 7th to an F7th, resolve to B flat, and then we take that up to G6th, our dominant 6th chord. But what we can actually do here, and this is very common in the time, especially amongst uke players, is use what's called passing chords, or chords that don't really fit in the key, but give us a sense of motion to where we're going. So when we have the line, knock me off my feet, you can go B flat 6th to an F minor 6th, 1, 2, 1, 3, to resolve down right away to a G7th. So listen to this. Knock me off my feet. We could, but listen to it with just the G7th. It works just as well. Knock me off my feet. But this gives this little sense of tension and ambiguity, not letting the ear know exactly where we're headed to before we get to that G7, and then that G7 screams out, please go to a C7, which is exactly what we do here. And then we go around, and really the B section is just a play on the A section. The first 8 bars are the same up until the C minor. But then after the C minor, we go to the E flat 6th again. And again, this will be the same exact voicing, but we hear it because of the melody that this is now major tonality. To an E flat minor 6th, this is a 4 to minor 4 progression, which we've seen so many times throughout these old songs. They're very, very common. And we go back to a B flat, and again, before the G7th, we can throw in an F minor 6th if we would like, or you can play B flat for the entire bar. Either works, and either are acceptable changes for the song. And then we just finish it out with a basic 2, 5, 1, and land on that B flat 6th chord. I hope this has helped you out a little bit, and it's just to keep in mind that, the chords are not gospel. We always have changes we can make here, and we can propel the harmony in different ways by using some of these substitutions. But it's important just to learn the basic bare bones version of the tune first, internalize the basic harmony of the song before we try to spice it up. I'll see y'all next week.